Hello everyone! In this video tutorial, you'll be learning how to add a competition element to your Scratch game by introducing a score variable and coding some interactions for it. So let's get started. Now, I'll be using this game that I've created called Sky Wars. Let me just walk you through the current game that I've coded. So in this game, I have a player sprite that can be controlled using an up, down, left, right arrow key to move it around the screen. I also have a second player sprite that is controlled using a different set of keyboard keys, W, S, D, and A. So this sprite can be controlled to move around the screen as well. I also have an enemy sprite that is automated. So I've coded it such that it moves around the right side of the screen at a random position, and it will wait some time before it changes its position again. I also created two bullet sprites in this game. One is for player 1, the other one for player 2. Let's take a look at each of the bullet sprite coding. For player 1 bullet sprite, it will be launched using the keyboard spacebar key. Okay, so whenever I press the spacebar, my player 1 bullet will start to create clones of itself, and all these clones will go to the player sprite. Okay, and then what's going to happen is that it will forever move towards the right side of the screen where the enemy sprite is. Okay, so this is done using a simple code, change X by 10. One more thing that will happen to the bullet clones and the sprite is that if it touches the edge of the game screen or if it touches the enemy, it will delete itself and disappear. Okay, now player 2 bullet sprite code is very similar to player 1 bullet sprite code. Only difference being that it's activated with a different key press, X, and it moves to player 2 first. It starts from player 2 sprite first before it moves towards the right. Okay, so same, it moves towards the right of the screen where the enemy sprite is by changing its X position by 10. Okay, and same as the first player 1 bullet sprite, if player 2 bullet sprite touches the edge of the screen or if it touches the enemy, it will delete itself and disappear. Okay, so this is the current coding that I have for the Sky Wars project. I'm just going to play it to show the interactions. So let's control the player sprite first. If I move up, down, left, right, it moves. If I press the space bar, it will start to shoot out bullets towards the enemy sprite. Okay, now let's try player 2 sprite. Player 2 sprite is controlled using the WASD keys. Okay, if I press the X button, it will start to shoot out its own purple bullets. Okay, so the interactions work here, but there is no competition and no effects that the bullet have on the enemy sprite yet because we have yet to code for it. Okay, so we're going to add a competition between the two player sprites to make it such that they will need to shoot the enemy sprite, and for every shot that they make, they will have 1 point added to their score, and at the end of the game, the player sprite that has the most score wins. Okay, so let's start doing this. I'm going to code for a variable of score on the enemy sprite itself. Okay, so go to my enemy sprite, go to the variables tab. I'm going to make two score variables, one for player 1 and another for player 2. Okay, Scratch has already very nicely arranged the two score indicators over here, so I'm going to leave it there. Now, very important, we have to set our scores to be 0 at the start of each game so that when you play the next game, the old score is not retained. Okay, so how to do this? Very simple coding. When the game starts, when green flag is clicked, set player 1 score to 0 and set player 2 score to 0 as well. Okay, now let's start working on the score interactions between the bullets and the enemy sprite. So for this, I will go to the player 1 bullet sprite first. Now, player 1 bullet sprite, if it touches the enemy sprite, then it's going to change player 1 score by 1. So this means it plus 1 to the player 1 score since it has made a successful hit, okay, before it deletes itself. Same for player 2 bullet sprite. If player 2 bullet sprite hits the enemy sprite or touches it, it's going to change the player 2 score by 2. by 1, sorry. So it also adds 1 to the player 2 score. Okay, so with that, we have completed our score addition variable, and now we have already added and completed the competition effect to this game. Okay, so let's test this out. Let's try out player 1 first. So when player 1 successfully makes a shot at the enemy sprite, it will start to have its score increase. Same for player 2. When player 2 makes a successful shot towards the enemy, its score will also increase. There we go. Okay, so this is a simple way to make some competition and add it to your Scratch game by just simply adding in a score variable and creating the code interactions for it. Okay, have fun, see what else you can do with your Scratch program.